As of this moment, anyone who has anything I've said past the timestamp you're about to hear, and it is the 3rd, April 3rd, if you want permission to use my words, my face, and everything, you go through myself or Deanna. Once dead, Deanna's in control of all of that. Send her a sample of what you want to put on, an email with it, and it'll be considered a legal document, the video with the email. And if anything else is said, then you're going to have a headache. Deanna will demand you take it down, but she's not the headache you're going to have. You're going to have a headache with me. This new awakening is so important for all of you. I'm not going to let anything screw with it. And I enjoy talking with someone when I'm helping them understand something, especially when they can ask questions and I can give them answers. I have all this information. I can't say it all. It's one reason there's so much of my videos. But anyway, that's enough of this. So let's get to the video. I just want to say that from this point on, if whether I've told you or not, whatever, if you want to put something on regarding me, what I've said, clear it through Deanna. And while I'm here, I'll be telling Deanna which way to go with it. But just it has to be cleared by Deanna before you put it on. All right, let's get into the video. Hey there, folks, again. This video never should have had to be made. I'm making it as short, exact as possible and getting the hell out of here, because there's something that happened between two close friends of mine I've been involved with for a long time. I have to get involved. Anyway, it's 3:08 p.m. Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019. I'll be up to my video energy here in a minute, I expect. Frank, I love you. Always have, always will. I always do everything I can for you. Alex, it's the same way too. Both of you know we're always being messed with. And that video Alex just put up, it explained all that. Everyone involved in this thing, and almost every single person there is, one way or the other, actually every single person that's involved in this in creation's new format change. I mean, it's an awakening of spirit within the solid bodies, through the solid bodies, of starting to become aware of, see, feel, understand who they really are. Spirit within a body, giving the body life to continue and move. Alex, when I talked to you yesterday, day before, I forget, I told you when I got off the video that I was going to get hit hard. My heart's in constant pain now. It'll lessen a little bit and then it gets harder. I have crutches and handrails for inside, and if I have to go to the doctor, I've got a wheelchair. So, anyway, as I said in the video that Alex put up, all of us are being screwed with. Frank, you were being screwed with too. Okay? You have been led to feel certain things would be good to say, and that, it would be with my approval. Alex, you were retaliating off of something that Frank had said, his first video that got you so upset. That was put in your head by the original first being male and female, this thing that everyone's still calling God, that not only is dead, but guess what? There is no God, there's no devil, but if there was, original first being male and female were both They were, correctly spoken, were your God and your devil. They're the ones that put you in hell. What's hell? Being in a body and they abuse you while you're in the body. That's the only hell there is. There's no dimension for hell. Folks, I've been everywhere. I am reaching out everywhere. There is none. I've only known that for about 12 years. I don't know. When I was a little kid, 5, 6 years old, I mean, my parents gave me a little Bible, and I looked at it, and the beginning of this thing was, near the beginning was saying Genesis, and I immediately closed the book and threw it down. And I was mad as hell, I was angry as hell, had no idea why. It's because it's all a bunch of shit, it's all a bunch of lies. All your books, the Torah is full of shit, the Quran is full of shit, your Bible is full of shit. How about that? All your religions are full of shit. Yet, when you go to one of these buildings, you're going to find so many wonderful people inside trying to live their lives through a false philosophy, a bullshit religion, a religion which is bullshit. Yet you feel so much love in there. I believe it was it was either 2014 or probably 2015 when finally all the angels were finally, original first angels were finally destroyed. Killed all of them except for a few of them that were really cool, and they've been cranked up. Angels come from source, folks. Everything comes from source. What source? The original first being. Myself and Lily, we were part of the one of the two huge source beings that came out of the original first being, when a male that had already split itself in a male and female, when the two halves came together and released a third of their energy. Then they cleaned 97% of the lower frequencies out of it. All those angels, those big archangels, all of them are dead, deleted, killed, gone, destroyed for crimes against creation's protector. All they had to do was leave me alone. The one that's not, the exception to that, is Archangel Michael. When all the serious shit went down, he came right up my face, and I'm like, oh, no, man, you and I are so tight. I love you so much. And he looked at me like, what's the matter with you? You don't understand. And I'm like, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then he just looked at me with feeling like a little bit of need. And then I went into him. He was waiting for me to put him inside that head, inside that dimension in my head, that head. I realize you all think that this J. Essex or John David Essex, whatever thing, is talking to you. Folks, that's the body that I'm in. You're talking to a combination of myself, Arae, and the conscious mind. That's this body, J. Essex. Anyway, so you all finally have free will. Those original angels, they go inside you. I've said this many times. Go inside your upper crown, go through your upper crown, middle crown, lower crown, right into the hypothalamus gland. And they give you the thought process of, I must run through the door. And you will do everything you can to run right through that damn closed door. They just came attacking. The ones that didn't, looked at them, cleaned them up really good, make sure they were fine. Put them in a sphere that was like an offset dimension, and I cranked them all up. So now they're angels that came from source, but now have source inside them, like so many of y'all, like A.L.X. and Frank. Well, there's some of we call them kids, that came from the primary Lily and I. I am the original primary Arae, and she is literally the primary initial Lily, and we put our energy together. When the third wave of souls was 80% released. and releasing beings of our own. Some of those, they're not, I've said before, talked about them like children, like in a physical earth and human concept or physical concept. It's not. If you get a 5-gallon bucket that's empty, and you take a gallon bucket full of water from stream A and pour it in there, and then you get a gallon bucket full of water from a lake and you pour them together, they mix, and then you take an empty coffee cup, put it in there and pull it out, that bucket never had pregnant water in it. Okay, you are literally taking a part of the spirit and energy that comes off of it from the combination there. And primarily Lily and I are as close. We're not normal spirit halves. Spirit mates. Lilith and Aramelius were spirit mates. I'm the strongest part of what was Aramelius in the beginning, and she's the strongest part of what was Lilith in the beginning. So we're the strongest parts of each of the two spirit mates. So that makes us a little more than just spirit mates. It makes us very incredibly powerful spirit mates. But our frequencies match, move together fine, but there is a little differentiation. I'm getting into this thing between that I was pulled in the middle of, and I'm finishing it, between A.L.X. and Frank, who have been screwed with hard. And they both know it now. And that's going to be the end of it, guys. Okay, if not when I get home, I'm going to fix it. Not by hurting anyone, I'm just going to fix it. You know that. You know how much the two of you mean to Deanna and I. Frank is awesome. And so's A.L.X. Frank is very strong pineal, and A.L.X. is very strong heart. Anyway, I'm going to get back to something. So anyway, this thing with talking about the source and everything, when primary Lily and I released a third of our energy, and it came out in 3 different waves, and it came out when the third wave, we did this when the third wave when the original first being male and female had put their energies together for the third time to create the third wave of souls. We waited till they were 80% done. I've told you I know all of you. When I see you, I remember you. I know who you are. It's not just my singular ability to look at something and know what it is immediately. I was made like that. I was created to have lives get stronger to serve and protect the original first beings, everything they built, and to beat the crap out of anything that came out of the first dimension following them. So they could be all omnipotent and everything else. Well, that never got a chance to happen. I just started having lives, and I realized that third part was just a bunch of crap, and I got in their face and told them about it. They said yes, 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 and I told them to go F off, okay? Try to clean up my language. The closer I get to getting out of this body, I don't give a damn about my language. I hardly do anyway, let me say that. I'm sick of being here. If I was already out of here, this little issue between Frank and A.L.X. never would have happened. But more importantly, most importantly, it wouldn't be happening anywhere to anyone in creation. What's that nasty, aggressive phrase people say, read my lips? Well, no, but listen to me. 4 months after this body's finally dead, and I'm free, you'll already be seeing changes, big time change. You'll see them after a month. You're going to start seeing changes. But 4 months after I've been free of this body, the other side I'll have finalized, cemented the new format for the other side. No abuse, no, attacking and crap like that. No lying. Anything that acts up, I'll either set aside or I'll delete immediately. Oh, that's cold water. That's good. So this being said, these when Lily and I released, primarily Lily and I released a third of our energy. Well, first off, it happened when the third wave was 80% release. So I'd already seen what was happening. And even though Lily and I put our energy together and we were releasing it, I was still watching everything happen. Had anything happened, I could have pulled myself away. The energy was put together, it was released. Primarily Lily's there to take care of it. Do I trust her? Yes. More than anything else. You know, not excluding myself. Anyway, the first thing that was pulled out, there was no problems, so I just kept going. And see, that way I had to do that to protect them. I protect everything. I protect negative original first being source energy, spirit. If they're not hurting anything, I protect them. If you exist, you deserve protection. There is equality in all ways, in all forms. There is now. There never has been, but there is now. That's what's coming. And it's already been softly instituted on the other side of installed. I know I won't die. I'm just going to keep going. Fuck the pain. Anyway, wow, my head's all messed up. Anyway, get everything off me for a minute. So anyway, first it was the source angels, 55 to 65% angel, the rest source. Then there's the source animals. Source animals are 55 to 65% animal essence, but they are source. And then the third wave that was released was just what was left to be in, go out and have lives. Source animal had lives, source angels did not. So they're not really my children, but they are. They literally are. What they are inside is the primary Lily and I. And a lot of them have been messed with while I was still in a body. And Lily was having a lot of lives, not quite as many as mine, but she's been real busy. When we were separated into male and female, when Lily and Arae were separated into male and female, Lilith and Arae were separated into male and female. There was more fortitude put on the Arae side because necessary to build me. Besides, it's when as far as spirit goes, I don't want to hear any crap about. But women are stronger. That screw that. No one's stronger. We're all different. The whole thing is, we come from one part. Okay. We are the thing that makes up the whole. Fuck. Excuse me. Anyway, so a lot of these source individuals that have been out having lives, all these lives in human bodies. Source animal was only having lives in animal bodies. Anyway, a lot of them were being manipulated by the original first being male and female, mostly the female, because it's a male's job to provide the field energy that goes everywhere and other stuff. To be supportive and to hold a massive amount of energy for when necessary. Like I said, they're both dead now. Anyway, so some of these are running around. They've never run a life. No one ever ran a life except the original first being male and female. If you want to have a monopoly on something, you don't let anyone else do something, so they can't learn. And sure as hell don't teach them. So anyway, some of them are trying to help people doing the right thing. Some of them are mad because they were told by the original first being male and female that it was their turn to be the new god. Original first being male and female said that to individuals in all the different fields. Soul, essence, source. They created in a creation based on pure chaos, conflict and aggression, abuse. They made sure they left a big bomb to go off, so everybody would keep getting stronger and bigger, and they were going to retire in their own dimension. And they were going to sit back and listen as to the praise that came from all the new beings that were supposed to have been created December 21st, 2012. When all these new, there was like about 3.1 thousand new universes. And they were going to take the largest spirit mates and put them in there, mostly souls, and have them release a third of their energy. So they were going to have all these new beings, all this conflict, all this abuse. They all get bigger, then later on separate again. And the thought process that the original first being male and female had was this way: they're going to perpetuate an increased amount of praise and songs, thoughts really to their glory. How sick. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get back to what I'm talking about. Frank, you asked me for permission to put some stuff on there. Well, that's not really what I expected out of you, what you put on there. And I told you that the stuff needs to be over with, and then you start making a conflict out of it. Now I realize that you were being told. You were being told by female, backup male, the source, what we call the kids. You were being told, be like Jay, get aggressive. Be like Jay, get aggressive. All this kind of crazy crap. I can see you when we have an emotion in us. A feeling inside us, but especially if it's an emotion. They're in the base energy field, the base chakra. And folks, this is done to me. Okay, I'm able to see it better than other people because of what I am. It's not just my abilities; it's my my strength level. And they feel a little something. They get under the only two emotions are fear and anger, which is based in fear. It's a separate emotion, but it's based from the beginnings of fear, but they're two different things. And they come in the base chakra, the coccyx, at the bottom of your tailbone, where the tip of the tailbone is. That's right where the almost the center point of the base energy field, or the focal point of the energy, that base energy field or chakra in your body. There's pink and black in there, sometimes a little brown. I don't have it on me. Deanna has the actual auras that are in the actual energy fields and where they're located and how they flow. People show you lines straight up and down with all kinds of crazy colors. They have green for the heart. When the heart actually puts out, I don't know how many colors, 7, 9, and different shades of each one. So and that's in the third book too, I believe. I know it is. Now this is the copy of the third book that you'll find out. This is the time guides, Earth and Ages timeline. I needed to mark this for my last video. I'm telling you when certain things happened, when they happened, and explaining why. And it's all relative to the hunt for. It's all relative to the Skinwalker Ranch, the Bigelow Ranch, whatever you want to call it. So this is the last edition of book one of book 3, excuse me, of my creation series. At least while I'm alive. Deanna will rewrite a couple different copies. It's coming out in Spanish and stuff. Anyway, in the very beginning, when I started writing this book, I expected to be out of here. And I expected to be out of here in early 2018. At the latest. And then here it is, getting into 2019, and I'm still here. So the last change I made on the book, because I knew I wasn't getting out in time, that's the schedule I made. And that was overridden by a part of myself outside of my body that wanted this other crap to happen. It already knew, from seeing the timeline as it was flowing by itself, that part of me already knew that the NSA and some of the organizations that have grown out of it was going to attack Deanna. And it made sure Deanna didn't get harmed. But that had happened, because that infuriated me. But not just that. It was attacking everything I've been doing. This new creation is for everyone. Me, I don't matter. It's for everyone. So that's why you open up the first page, Creation is History, Explosive Evolution, and ET Arrivals on Earth, Book 3. And then on the inside there, if you see the hyped up print, the bold print, it says the timeline presented in this book, and there's only a couple references to any timeline, but it exists. So I had to put this in. This book, I spent so much time, so much stuff was just coming to me, but I had to literally go back and research it. I don't go to the library for this. I have to go inside myself. It's like in and out of myself, through the field, go through everywhere looking. As a matter of fact, right above it, let me read the whole thing. It says, the future timeline for all the events you're about to read here, as well as those mentioned in the rest of my books, is dependent upon Arae, who I am, having returned home to the other side early enough to set up the introduction between ourselves here on Earth and our ET friends in a manner most comfortable for everyone. Today is, it was supposed to be December 17th, 18th, and 19th of 2018. Anyway, today is May 28th of 2018, and he should have returned already. He's the only one capable of changing creation's format and creating these events that will happen quickly after his return. That's me, my conscious mind, talking about what I actually am. When this body's dead, this conscious part of Jay, I go with him. I literally get pulled out of the body. There's no way to separate it. So I go with myself is what I'm really saying. I'm inside here. But I realize that I'm also bonded to a conscious mind. It's easier for y'all to pull that apart. That's why many people call themselves a higher self. Anyway, like I said, in bold print, the timeline presented in this book will begin upon the death of the J. Essex body, freeing Arae from his prison. That's nothing but the truth. You don't have to believe it. Now, that's enough of this stuff. When I do anything, because I know so many people are going to be watching this more and more as time goes on, like I said, the next 100 years is imperative. 100 years from now, the ETs will have actually told you, backed up some of the events that I've told you about within hours of what I basically said it was. They'll tell you to the minute, but it'll be right within that time frame of a few hours, between maybe 3 to 4 minutes to 4 hours. All these new councils being built and everything. No, I'm no psychic is a bullshit word. The future's always being changed. But these were events I was personally involved in. All right. So anyway, these other folks, these other parts of the primary Lily and I, and other pieces of essence and stuff that is still problematic. Some of them think they're helping and they screw with you. Some of them are just, they're mad that they're not. It's not their turn to play God like they were told by the original first being male. Female, they mess with everyone. 4 months, like I said, shortly after I'm gone, the second I'm gone, I'm going to start killing stuff over there that I know is a problem and won't change. But 4 months after I'm out of here, before that time happens, it won't even be a month after I'm gone. If anything lies to you, it gets taken away from you, number one. And number two, if necessary, it'll either be put away or, frozen, put away till I have time to deal with it, or deleted. So this kind of event between Alex and Frank, and it's happening everywhere. So this type of event won't ever happen after that point. Somebody tries to make it fine. There are some source people with there are some physical bodies with source inside, even when it's just Lily, primary Lily's energy with this one person. I'll pull it out of you. There's only a few people, but I've ripped it out of people, whether it was part of me or not. If it was source from Lily and from primary Lily and I know you don't deserve it. So a lot of you are gonna find you talk crap and nothing happens because your energy, you were source or Lily, or I haven't done it to anyone who's there yet, but you've got to crank someone up and it won't happen. And when source goes to crank you up, it has to go through the field has to allow it. Field here. I'm so damn close. I don't guess I'm getting picked up too much for this. I can't put any more energy than this in my body, apparently. Anyway, so Alex is really, really strong heart energy. If you're the people in charge of creation, you made an abusive creation to beat the hell out of stuff, because when spirit's in a body having a life, the more you beat it up, when it comes out of the body, it doesn't just go like this from a normal life, it goes boom and grows like this. And remember, they wanted to keep growing everything as big as they could, and like feeding it super steroids night and day, and not stopping until December 21st, 2012, when the biggest of them were being put in these thousands of universes and releasing a third of their energy. Because the bigger it is, the more little spirits you're going to get out of the same, from two people. That third of energy to pull spirit from, to divide spirit from, push spirit out of, is going to be larger, so you'll have more spirit. More praise machines. Anyway, so Alex is very strong heart. He's pushing everything out. His heart puts out energy everywhere. But when someone is heart energy, and they're pushing out that love and that caring and everything, That totally screws up the abuse factor everywhere. You can't let people feel compassion. They got to feel abuse, you know. They can feel compassion from some friends or lovers, whatever, and then that's made to go to shit where it hurts more. They ran all the lives until July 10th of 2012. No one else ever had a hand in running people's lives except for the angels that they original first angels that they put on them, and they did what they were told to do by the original first being male and female. So anyway, so Frank's been bombarded harder than Frank's been bombarded too, but A.L.X got bombarded harder than Frank since the very beginning. He was more dangerous. A.L.X is very strong. And he's hard. Now Frank, he's gone through hell too. Like I said, his first consult. He called me up and said, "Damn, Jay, 5 hours later, 5 hours after the consult, the guy got hurt." Hey, let me tell you something. Don't ever hesitate to go to Frank for a consult. There was something nasty that caused that, and that shit's dead. I killed it. Frank and A.L.X don't only have my love, but they have my protection. And believe it or not, the same exists to everyone. I just can't provide it properly until I'm out of the damn body. I can only do so much. This woman who was Guinevere, literally the Camelot thing, that's all true. The lady that was Guinevere, I did some energy work on her and it blew her mind, and then later on she was running over to her sister's house. She was driving over to her sister's house and she called me up and she said, "Jay, my car's all screwed up. I don't know if I'll make it. Will you fix my car for me?" I'm like, what? Everyone's been told continuously, made to think so by the original first angels, that there's this magic God. So if someone has any real abilities that are unheard of, they must be close to magic God. Well, there's no magic God. All there was the original first being that was too weak when it was made to delete anything. It could not kill. It wasn't strong enough to kill spirit. Never was. Of course it won't be now. It's dead. It's all gone. Both of them. All of it. Both halves of the original first being. So I get messed with, Deanna gets messed with, and sometimes plus my body's being destroyed. It's being put down. Good. Deanna's getting worked on much harder because it's time for her to go to work doing more things. Her power is increased an incredible amount. Frank and A.L.X, same thing. Everyone else I cranked up, same thing. People I haven't cranked up or don't know I've cranked them up, yeah, same thing. This is moving forward, and I said nothing can stop it. I mean it. But anyway, so I had a video with Frank and a personal one on YouTube, and he asked if he could pull a couple of pieces out. I said yes. And then he said, and then he made the video and said what he said, and I was disappointed, annoyed, and I saw what happened and why. So, annoyed, pissed, yeah. At him, no. I understand. Oh, by the way, Frank, everything just got picked up to come off to you and took care of you, and that special envelope got that too. Thanks. And then A.L.X. Uh, I have a little surprise for you to tell you. Be on email. It has nothing to do with any of this. Frank's already getting ready to do classes, man. Frank, that's awesome. Frank is such strong pineal. A.L.X. is such strong heart, and plus, solar plexus wise, is another incredible powerhouse he's source from Lily and I, Stephen Lewandowski. Poor Stephen as a baby he's, I'm going to say it, myself excluded, he's the strongest telepath on this planet. His mind was wired wide open since a baby where people could talk and he couldn't shut it off. For an hour? That's insane torture. For your life? No. So that's why I've said I'm going to go into Steve. Steve is calming down. He's getting much stronger because I've killed most of everything going into him. That has to do with NSA. Anunnaki in Arizona. CIA once. Back then, I've gotten rid of it now, but back then there were parts of my energy that were really overly aggressive. Remember, no one's been beat up like me. I've been cleaning myself up while I've been doing all this other stuff. Like I've said before, just not often, when you're spirit on the other side, we're serious. And we play for keeps. I'm starting to get a sore throat. Anyway, with Stephen's abilities, once I've helped him calm down, and he's, like I said, he's a lot calmer and stronger, but I need to finish this up once I'm out of body, when I'm myself and I have access to my abilities. Not the pathetic, teeny things I'm doing right now. It's not pathetic, but it's just so small that it's pathetic in size to what I can actually do, to who I am, to what I am. But Stephen is strong solar plexus. Now you get Frank and Stephen and A.L.X. together, and this little spat, man, they're going to be fine in no time. Like I said, all of us, we don't need to hold hands and dance around the table singing Kumbaya or something. But we're all here for the same reason. We're all different. We all have our own gig. Things that we do. But if you put the three of them together, man, be incredible. What's coming from the spiritual foundation with Deanna, her niece and nephew, Ignacio Jr., so to speak, little Ignacio, I call him. His granddad is Ignacio Sr. And Deanna's niece, Ignacio's sister. I'm trying to keep things quiet over there for a reason. It's personal. But Ignacio was the second focal point to ever come out of me. And the first one to come out of me is in a body. That's in one of the babies that was bodies that was created from Deanna and myself by the Serpoian. Serene is her name. It's the name she gave us anyway. So that's, I'm Jay. You can call me asshole, anything you want. Peanut butter lover. I don't know. Coat hanger kid. Who knows? And yes, I'm making all this stuff up. It's got no meaning anywhere. Anyway, that first one to come out of me is very, very powerful, and he's coming out about 7 years from now. Actually, about 4 years from now. I was looking at this morning. You're going to have some incredibly powerful kids come out, and about 8 years from now, there's going to be a whole bunch of them. And I'm not talking about the other people that are here that'll be strong. I'm talking about some real freaks. and it's they weren't created by Deanna becoming pregnant. It's our physical pieces being removed and being cleaned up, and then I'm not going to say a test tube baby, but it is growing bodies in chambers out of life. The embryos get put, when that happens and the people are loving, the embryos get put back in the mother for a while once they're put together, so they get to feel the mother and hopefully get to feel the father too. There's other people that are source and not source having children. There's some folks of mine, I don't have their permission, I'm not going to use their name, but they're good friends of mine in Alaska. They're about to have, they're in the process of having a very special baby. All of you are special. All of you mean so much, and it's like the thing that was allowed to happen and made to happen between Frank and A.L.X. Man, there goes my head. What was made to happen between them, folks? If you have a life if you're having a life right now where you haven't been made to do something, where all of a sudden, where you haven't done something, all of a sudden you go, no matter how small or big it is, it's like, what the hell did I do that for? You were made to do it, good or bad. But when the original first beings were in control and the original first angels were out there, that was a lot of bad. So anyway, that's what's been going on. Plus, everyone's growing. A.L.X. really gets hit hard in his heart energy and his brain and everything else, and Frank is strongest in the pineal. His head gets hit hard too. He's getting used to it. But as far as being messed with, just to be conservative, whether it's a day, whether it's a month or whether it's 4 months after I'm gone, anything that comes to you and pushes you to do something the wrong way is going to literally have to pay for it, either by being removed, given a timeout, or being deleted. So, have I ever played Frank and A.L.X. against each other? Hell no. I was going to say something else, no. And A.L.X. has been beat on hard. A.L.X.'s brain was fracked up. Not as bad as Stephen Lewandowski's. Now it sounds like I'm talking bad about him. No, I love Stephen, man. I'm going to help the hell out of him. I don't talk about it much, but pretty much the killing I've done before this, while I was in the body, was the NSA and the trip chairs attacking Stephen. The CIA, they all have problems. All of us have problems, but these government agencies, they are now so far beyond the people that they think they do whatever they want. They're in control of everything. They're not. I just realized that my mic was rolled over the whole time. Just a minute. I got to say something. I'm going to stop here, make a little something I got to put in the very front of this video, and then I'm going to say it again here. Be right back. Okay, what that was about is what you saw at the very beginning, just before this video, when I said that anyone who wants to put up words that I've said before because of what can happen, what did happen, it was a way for me to, realize, people, you can't put up words, something I say that's a personal consultation without Deanna giving you the okay first. If there's a big problem with that, I'll take care of it from the other side. Now, that doesn't mean take down the ones you've already put up, but it's from this day forward. Um, so anyway, in regards to that, I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. That's enough nonsense. People start taking my words and playing with them, or trying to really get brutal about something, especially against someone else. About me, it's not that big a deal. I don't care. But about other people who are involved in this, no. So once I'm gone, I'll fix that. So anyway, that's enough of that crap. Frank and Alex are awesome. They saw things come the wrong way. Frank, when you first put out the video, when you're talking about, I'm not a follower, I go my own way. Well, I have said continually, don't blind faith in something. Blind faith gives you what? Bumps on your head, bruises, because you keep running into doors, walls. That doesn't mean you shouldn't follow someone's information and see what you get out of it. The way Frank wasn't saying that, but the way he was made, the wording that he was given. Remember that these, individual spirits, they're source. Angels come from source. So where an angel can go inside you and screw with you and you never know it, source can do it better. So I'm sorry that's happening. I'm not apologizing for anything. I've always done everything I could. And I need to get to almost this, point. I didn't need to have much of a crappy life to be strong enough to take up my new job as soon as I get out of this body. But due to all the fighting that I've gone through, I've really become a freak. Folks, it's going to end and all that crap's over. So any of you that are doing this, that feel the need to do this, just fight what you can not to get involved in it. But whatever you do, don't include me in any of it. And Alex's head has been fucked up. He's been fucked with so hard. And his heart was just beat the hell out of him, which fucks up your head. It's in your brain that you run your spirit, but his heart energy is so strong. And Frank gets messed up with too. I mean, so do I. So don't head, they're both awesome. You can't lose going either way. And if you're listening to this, anyone you want to talk to both of them. Some people might want to get more out of talking with heart energy Alex or pineal energy Frank. I mean, they're not wrong, and everyone's going to get left alone soon. So, and so Alex and Frank, let's just let this go, guys. You're both way too good for this kind of stuff to happen. And but Frank, when you said following, I know this, the way you presented it, it's like, don't follow anyone's words, just go out, try to figure everything for yourself blindly. And I know you really weren't saying that. Some of the wording just seemed like that, that's all. I know your heart, Frank, I know you. And I'm sorry that happened, but between the two of you, I understand. I've left a lot of words in books and videos, products for all of you to help all of you. So, and Frank was never saying don't ever follow any Jay's information. That's just how it was made to come out. It's not his fault. Somebody would say, well, we have to be responsible for what we say. Well, why don't we wait another 4 months before we do that? Let me get out of here and wait 4 months. That's how we need to be with ourselves, is to be responsible with what we say. But when that happens between people, take the time to go look at them and see. And do it calm. That's the big secret to this. If you're not calm about it, if you can't get calm about it, relax. Look inside. Who's around you? Male or female? What are they? Soul, essence, source? Then you look at them and you go, all right, I got to get this video up. I have to go relax and try to finish up the timeline and information for the stuff happening in the Skinwalker video. The hunt for this, the Skinwalker video I'm making. And it's relative to the movie Hunt for the Skinwalker. I think it's like 2 hours and 6 minutes and 53 seconds long or something. I don't know. It's the one that's available on Amazon.com to watch. So, folks, love you. Wow. That was wild. A good-sized bird just flew by me, but when I looked at it, the animal essence coming to me was a huge yellow, golden, and gold owl going away like this. And then 2 carpenter bees just getting in a territorial dispute, but not too aggressively, and then both of them just flying away. But anyway, the thing with the owls, that's knowledge. That's what owl energy means. Owl image is bringing you knowledge, and then the moving away is, that's the thought process. There's taking me with it to go. And carpenter bees are known to be aggressive, and the 2 of them dancing with each other, their aggressive dance, and then leaving. That's, the getting away from the aggression, which is this video. Anyway, I don't favor anyone over anyone else. If you really love everyone, you can't do that. You don't, because it doesn't make any sense. It's in your immediate category of wrong. Talking about someone's mind being fucked with, no one's mind was messed with more than my own. And I said that it's in a video that A.L.X put up, and that's when I was so strong. And my ability to see, it was ridiculous. It's who I am, what I am, and this physical brain was attacked overnight by the original male first being, then killed part of the brain and transmuted something else with the nervous system to make sure it couldn't flow through there. And it has to do with the conscious mind receiving image about a third of the way from here going towards the middle of my brain, about a third of the way. So maybe less. Anyway, so and then it's poor Stephen. Hope the video turns out alright with me having smothered my microphone. I hate to fucking do this again. Anything that can be happen or let to happen to keep me from finishing this shit and getting home, That's what I've had to deal with day in and day out. That's part of the reason Frank and Alex are brought to each other, because they're both very close to me, and that would bring me into the fray, to the middle of it, and make me stay here another 2 days. These assholes on the other side, I've had some of them come up to me and screw with me, try to make me fall on my face laughing, thinking they were cool. They do that once, then they're gone. Other parts of me said, you can't just keep killing them like that. But sure can. They know better. In a way, I feel like it was my fault because I was in body. I couldn't protect them from the crap they were getting fed from the original first being male and female. But whatever, I don't care. I'm done. It's time for me to get the hell out of here. And I'm almost there. Folks, love you. Just want you to understand. Take care and have a kick butt day.